Sports Central presents MaxPreps SoCal.
And welcome into MaxPreps SoCal. Over the next half hour, we're going to spotlight some of the biggest games this week and some of the best performances from last Friday across the Southland. Welcome in. I'm Chris Hayre, joined by former LA Charger and the man from Riverview High in Florida, Jahleel Addae. And Jahleel, some big games last week, playoffs just around the corner.
Yeah, it's playoff time. In playoff time, you have to play your best football. You got to be at your best. You have to be on top of everything. You took your wins, you took your losses. Now it's time to put it all together.
Yeah, it gets real. Okay, let's start with this, though. The final California state rankings before the playoffs even begin. St. John Bosco, modern day, still on top. Really no change in the top six. The only real movement saw Rancho Cucamonga jump 3 spots to number 7 following a win over Damien in the Battle of 8-0s in Week 9. So we'll start with the number 1 team in the state, the Braves. They wrap up their league schedule Friday against Orange Lutheran. Another win at St. John Bosco, going to lock up its first Trinity League title since 2019. But it's not just a league championship. The Braves will likely earn the number 1 seed in the playoffs with a win.
Our goal before league was to go 5-0 to win league, and we're one game away from that. So as long as we're just focusing on Orange Lutheran, obviously that's our opponent this week, so we're focusing on them for this week. And if we get this win, then we win league and we probably get the number 1 seed in Cali, which is cool.
We have a big game this week, obviously, because we can wrap up an undisputed Trinity League title, and I think that's going to be the motivation going into this game, and I expect our kids to play at a high level.
So, Jahleel, obviously playoffs around the corner, but Orange Lutheran up first for Bosco. You can't look too far ahead. You got to focus on the now.
Yeah, coaches call these trap games. Orange Lutheran's a 5-4 team, but they beat some really, really good teams. They beat Servite. They beat Santa Margarita, who was top 10 in the state at one point in time. So this is a good football team. You can't just go out there and roll the ball out and think you're going to get a win. You have to stick to your game plan, stick to your guns and your horses, and go out there and play St. John Bosco football.
Well, you said it, St. John Bosco football. Their sound, offense, defense, special teams. This is the final tune-up before the postseason.
Yeah, it's a tune-up, and you want to feel good going into the postseason. I know when I was playing, we know we've clinched the playoffs, or we've clinched our spot. But you want to finish the season strong. You want to continue to play, and build your confidence as you get into the playoffs. Because, hey, we all know playoff football is a different football.
It's a different football for sure. All right, there's several winner-take-all matchups across the southern section this week, including in the Marmani League between Oaks Christian and St. Bonaventure. Now, both teams 7-2, unbeaten in league play. For St. Bonaventure, they're looking for a three-peat in Marmani, while Oaks Christian has run off 5 straight since losing to Gardena Serra back in September. We spoke with both coaches about the big game.
Our goal is to win a Marmani League championship, and we've been successful in that plight the last 2 years, but it's a whole new year. It's a new Oaks Christian team, new personnel, new schemes, and so everything that's happened in the past, we can throw that aside. It's going to be an emotional game.
They played good a couple of years ago, and unfortunately last year we had a little hiccup there, but I think this year's team has kind of been built, and after a while you've been battle tested, so I believe third time's the charm for these kids. They're motivated and ready. They've been real quiet, but we keep receipts, and so we're looking forward to this game for sure.
What's keep receipts mean, Jahleel?
Keep receipts means we're watching and we know exactly what happened in the past, right? So they're ready. They're ready to play. They're ready to get back at it and get their get back.
All right, let's go. Well, hey, offense versus defense really in this one. That's what we're going to focus on. Oaks Christian, they got a wide receiver, Chase Farrell, 254 and 3 last week.
Yeah, that's Madden number. 7 catches, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. 3-star commit to Stanford University. I know those guys in the Pac-12 are happy to get him. And then you look, his quarterback is Nate Bennett, 3-star, Baylor commit. He's slinging the ball all over the field. These guys are loaded, and these guys are very explosive.
For St. Bonnie, they got a wide receiver, Washington State commit DJ Doss, but it's really that defense that you're going to have to focus on here.
Yeah, you look at Drew Cofield, cornerback. He's really an athlete. He does it all, 6'1", 160, 3-star, has offers from U of A, Arizona down there in Tucson, and Washington, and 3 other schools. He has a lot of O's right now, and he's a baller. And then you have Matt Perez, sophomore. Only a sophomore, Chris. Defensive end. 6 total sacks on the season, 2 just last week. His engine's running and he's pumping with gas.
Yes, he is. All right, let's keep things rolling here. Long Beach Poly and Jordan High, they're going to wrap up the regular season against each other in a crosstown showdown on Thursday night. The Jackrabbits 8-1. The only loss coming out in blowout fashion against Bishop Gorman from Las Vegas. That's the number 1 team in the nation. Should be an exciting game because both teams moved the ball well. The Jackrabbits averaging 44 points over their last 5, while Jordan leads the state in total offense, averaging over 500 yards per game.
This game was always fun. I mean, it's a rivalry, but we really can't call it a rivalry because it's been so lopsided. So we're going to go out and compete against a really good football team.
Well, they got one of the fastest kids in the state, if not the nation. So, he's a playmaker all over the field. So we got to be able to contain him.
That takes us to our stat to know this week. Jordan quarterback Jarrett Nielsen leads not just the southern section, but the entire state. He's got 3,031 passing yards in 9 games this season. Nielsen's per game average of 336.8 yards per game, also first in the state. And he has over 700 rushing yards and 8 more rushing scores. That feels like Lamar Jackson-esque. Jahleel?
That does. Lamar Jackson-esque, a little Michael Vickers, if you want to throw it back for the older viewers who are watching this. His kid's a baller, like you said, topping all of these stats in the state of California. This is California, top 3, 1, 2, or 3, depends on who you're asking, in the whole country as far as football. This kid is balling, and he's balling out of control.
He's the coach's son to boot. As for Long Beach Poly and Coach Barbie, they got a pretty good quarterback too in Darius Curry.
Yeah, they do. Darius Curry just committed. Colorado State commit 5'11", 170. He's leading a very good Bishop Gorman team he's leading a very good Long Beach team who's 8-1. Lost to Bishop Gorman. That's their only loss this year, and that's the #1 team in the country.
All right, Jahleel, that was a fast and furious first block. Up next, he's mentored the best of the best in the Southland. Quarterback coach Danny Hernandez joins us to talk about some of his latest pupils. Plus, we're going to look back on a big LA City section showdown between Gardena and Carson that saw Gardena take its top in the Marine League.
You're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
Welcome back, everybody. Big win in the city section last Friday in Gardena. The Panthers hosting 8-0 Carson. Big night for junior Miles Mason. 2 receptions, both of which went for touchdowns. Mason also ripped off 95 rushing yards, added a score on the ground, finished with 140 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Gardena also forced 4 turnovers in the 27-7 win. They take over the top spot in the Marine League.
We really believe, man, we really and truly believe our defense is the best defense in the city. If you look at our record, 8-1, a lot of that is because of our defense plays so well. And best defense I've had since I've been here. It's my 3rd year. Best defense by far, man. We got some excellent players, man, and we looking to do even bigger things than what we did tonight. So I think the sky's the limit for our defense.
All right, so Gardena is ranked 4th in the new LA City section top 10. At number 3, it's Garfield. At 8-1, they face Roosevelt in the 88th edition of the East LA Classic this Friday at East LA College. Now, last year the game was at the Coliseum. This year it will be Dorsey and King Drew. And Don's head coach Stephon Johnson talked about playing in the historic stadium.
It's going to be for the league championship or a share of it, none of these. But it's going to be a great football team again, King Drew, and it's going to be a good opportunity for our kids to get out and see something different in the Coliseum. And the homecoming for me is to come back home and to play in the Coliseum is always a beautiful, special thing for me. So to letting the kids to experience that and to play in a big stage like that is always going to be a beautiful thing.
All right, so Jahleel, this is a treat. Joining us now, quarterback coach and mentor Danny Hernandez. I've done so much work with Danny over the years, and if there's a elite signal caller in Southern California, chances are Danny has worked with him. What's up, my man?
How you doing?
Good, good. Hey, we could talk about countless guys, but we got 4 of them we're going to talk about today. And the first is Wyatt Becker from Sierra Canyon, who's having a heck of a year.
Oh, yeah. Wyatt's having an amazing season for Sierra Canyon. Great program. They're undefeated. He's checking all the boxes that you'd want to see out of your quarterback that you're recruiting. He's doing an awesome job. Very, very proud of the work that he's put in.
What's the difference between when you were working with him when he was an 8th grader to now?
I think one of the things you could even see with him as an 8th grader is just how smart he was. Very high football IQ, mature beyond his years, and I think he's carried that over into his high school career so far. So again, very, very smart kid, going to be able to dissect what's going on pre-snap and post-snap, and he's really been able to show that.
Hey, Danny, one of the kids who really stood out to me and Chris, we actually dissected him 2 weeks ago, and this kid is stellar, only a sophomore, and he's done a lot, is Brady Smigel. What can you tell us about this kid and what he brings to the game?
Brady's amazing. I mean, Brady's just a big, strong kid that has a cannon of an arm. He's able to move. You look at all the touchdowns this kid is throwing. You know, he's a very, very sharp kid too. You know, a guy that another one that has a very high football IQ. You take a look at him, and you know, again, he's a guy that will definitely be playing on Saturdays, and God willing, beyond.
No doubt about it. When I look at him, I like to think of comparisons, and one of the comparisons that jump out to me right away is Josh Allen. If you can give him a comparison, what would his comparison be for NFL quarterbacks?
You know, I think Justin Herbert, you know, is one that he's very similar to. You know, it's like big kid, big, long kid. You're going to see him extend plays with his legs from time to time, and he's going to be out there stiff-arming guys and making some crazy off-platform throws and a lot of things like that. So, yeah, he's big time for sure.
I take Allen or Herbert. Right?
Literally.
The next guy, you haven't worked with him specifically, but what Caleb Sanchez is doing at Bosco is remarkable.
He's doing an amazing job. I mean, he's playing for one of the top programs in the country. I mean, that's a kid right now. I think he's caught a little fire, too, picking up some attention from schools, picking up a few offers, rightfully so. You know, big kid, big, strong kid, has been very efficient, playing a national schedule, and to be able to do what he's doing at such a high level has been very impressive.
You've been working with Jackson Pollock since you was a young kid, right? 6'4", 225, just committed to the University of Washington. That's a big-time pickup for the Huskies down there in Seattle area. What is his comparison in the NFL quarterback, and what do you see in his game that will take him to the top?
That's one that probably is like in that Josh Allen world. You know, he's a big, strong kid. I mean, he looks like an NFL quarterback already right now when you see him physically. You know, he can make every single throw on the field. You know, he's extending plays with his feet when he has to. But the kid does have a cannon. You know, he really does, and he's making some big plays out there and leading his team to a great season so far.
You must be the 3,000-yard passing guru, because both of them, Brady Smigel and Pollock, has 3,000 yards passing, almost 3,000 yards passing. I think one's thrown for 38 touchdowns, one's thrown for 41.
Yes.
They're almost like identical twins out there. Hey, when my kids get older, I know where I'm sending them.
Bring them down.
Go to Daddy Hernandez. Daddy, I want to get you out of here on this, because you got guys in the league, in college, obviously in high school. But we were just talking about Malik Murphy. I remember you training him a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He may be getting the start this Saturday in Texas. So when you see that, when you see Bryce Young going up against C.J. Stroud, another SoCal guy, I mean, what is this time of year like for you?
That's exciting. You know, you just see that these were dreams for these boys since they were kids, and them being able to live those dreams. You know, it's really awesome. I'm excited for all those guys, just praying for nothing but health and success for them.
Yeah. Can we have you back?
Yeah, anytime. I'd love to get back.
I feel like 4 minutes is not enough.
I'd love to get back.
Danny, thank you so much, man. Hey, coming up on MaxPreps SoCal, we're going to hear from unbeaten Sierra Canyon, Wyatt Becker Sierra Canyon, who joined Jim Hill on Sports Central last Saturday. And speaking of the Trailblazers, Zack Poff joins us next to check out the rankings and a look ahead to the playoffs and who he thinks will come out on top. Stay with us.
I'm Jason Negro, head football coach at St. John Bosco High School, and you're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
Welcome back, everybody. Good one in week 9 between Sierra Canyon and Gardena Serra. Back and forth contest. Fourth quarter, Serra down 28-21. Jimmy Butler, not that Jimmy Butler, he hits Zacharias Williams in the end zone to tie the game at 28. Just over a minute left, still tied. Sierra Canyon's Dane Dunn bowls his way into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. Sierra Canyon won a thriller, 35-28 to stay unbeaten. Following the win, a few of the Trailblazers stopped by Sports Central.
As bad of a start as you can have, down 14-0, and they battled back. I was really proud of the way the kids stayed calm, cool, and collected. And you need that in the playoffs. You know, you need. There's going to be challenges. We're going to play great teams. This is the first time our program is going to play at the Division I level. It looks like, which is a huge thing for us. And you know, I think that the little bit of a battle test that we got yesterday was huge. So I love the mindset of our team. The kids are excited. They're confident. We've got talent all over the field. But they're also humble and working hard.
Connor, what makes your team so special?
It's really the work we put in, and when you see it on the field, and the coach just puts us in positions where we could be successful.
And he doesn't let up either, does he?
At all.
Is he very particular about the minor things in practice and things like that?
Yes, because that's what costs us games, and either we win or lose. So he makes sure we harp on that.
Okay, man, let's talk to you a little bit. What's your favorite thing about, what do you like the most about your club?
Oh, about our football team?
Yes.
Just how it's a family. Everybody loves each other. Everybody's there for each other. If you have like a up or down, we're there to help you. If anybody needs anything outside of football or like for school, we're there to like help each other out. We're all just like a really big family, and I love that about our team.
So Sierra Canyon still ranked 3rd in the southern section at 9-0. Not much movement in the top 10, but Servite did jump into the top 10 following its win over Santa Margarita in Week 9. Now it's time to check in with MaxPreps National Football Editor Zack Poff. Love this time of the show, Zack. We just showed those top 10 rankings. Not much movement. What are your predictions as we get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty simple when it comes to the predictions, whether they go with the 8, 10, or 12-team field. I think at the end of the day, when you get to the CIF Division I semifinals, I think it's going to be chalk. I think you're going to get 1 versus 4, St. John Bosco versus Corona Centennial, and then you're going to get Mater Dei versus Sierra Canyon. And while I think Sierra Canyon and Corona Centennial are both very, very good teams, I don't think they're on the level of St. John Bosco and Mater Dei. So I think we're going to get that big-time rematch at the Collie. And I think St. John Bosco fans might come in my mentions because I think Mater Dei is going to get revenge. I think they're going to have a totally different game plan this time around. And you know what it is, man. It's just tough for the winner of the regular season game to win the second time around. The last time that happened when those two played twice was in 2017 when Mater Dei beat St. John Bosco. I think Mater Dei is going to get some revenge here on St. John Bosco and win the CIF D1 crown.
If Mater Dei is going to do that, what needs to change?
Yeah, well, first of all, Sierra Canyon, they're a well-rounded team. They have a very good defense. They got a couple of stud running backs, and, you know, Danny Hernandez is the man when it comes to SoCal quarterbacks, and Wyatt Becker's having a big-time junior season. But I just think Mater Dei and St. John Bosco are both on different levels where I think it would be hard for them to pull off the upset win there in the semifinals. And Mater Dei, man, I don't want to say they overlooked St. John Bosco the first time around, but I think they looked at that Kahuku loss and they kind of underestimated St. John Bosco a little bit, thought it was going to be a little easier. And next thing you know, it's 14-0 and then 28-0. So I see them offensively changing things around the second time around.
So, Zack, we got blue chippers all around Southern California, but you want to highlight a few specific guys.
Yeah, you know, talking about St. John Bosco, I love their linebacker, Kingston Billy Omoasa. I believe he's not only the best linebacker in California, but I believe he's the best linebacker in the entire country. He's leading the way for St. John Bosco's defense this year, arguably the best defense in the country. And sticking with Trinity League guys, Nasir Wyatt, 5-star edge rusher, a junior for Mater Dei. This is a guy who's just been on a different level since his sophomore year. He's having another huge season for the Monarchs. And then you also got Cornell Hatcher Jr. This is a guy who's kind of under-recruited, but he's having a huge year for Corona Centennial. And if the Huskies want to pull off some upsets in the playoffs, they're going to need to, you know, depend on Cornell Hatcher, who's rushed nearly 2,000 yards this year. And then class of 2027 standout Richard Wesley for Sierra Canyon. He's been a huge playmaker for Sierra Canyon's defense, and there's a good chance he'll be the #1 overall recruit when they come out with 24/7 Sports 2027 rankings. And I got to give a shout out real quick. 2024 Washington commit Jason Robinson Jr. for San Juan Hills. He was a baller at Long Beach Poly, and he's having a big-time year here again. He's one of the best route runners in the country.
Zack, always love our time. Next week it gets real at the playoffs. Looking forward to it. All right, still to come, this may be one of the wildest plays you will ever see on a football field at any level. That's next.
You're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
This is Coach John Nielsen, Long Beach Jordan High School. You're watching MaxPreps SoCal.
Lots of big games with playoff implications in the southern section this week, including a pair of ranked matchups on Thursday. On Friday, number 24 Edison and number 13 Los Al meet with the Sunset League title on the line. The Empire League title also on the line when Cypress visits undefeated Tustin, and big playoff implications with number 10 Servite hosting 12th ranked J. Sarah. It should be fun, and when the dust settles, it's going to be playoff time. But before we go, You know what time it is. Let's start with a highlight out of Chicago, Jahleel. That's 310-pound defensive lineman and Ohio State commit Justin Scott.
I see Justin Scott rumbling, stumbling, and rumbling and stumbling some more. Big man. We love to see him getting into that touchdown for the paint. 7 points for the good guys.
That looks like the fridge. Who was the biggest guy you tackled in the NFL?
The biggest guy tackled in the NFL, that's a great question. I have to go with Derrick Henry. Never had to tackle offensive linemen. Had to avoid a few of them. Never had to tackle them. But we see you, Ohio State. That's why they're always in the conversation in the college football playoffs, because they got athletes in all shapes and sizes.
Man, Derrick Henry may be that size. I don't know. All right, this next one is from Texas. You're going to have to see it to believe it, Jahleel.
Wait. Punch block. The punter catches it from his own 3.
Wait, what's happening?
Wait. Puts tiptoes down the sideline, cuts back, and takes it to the crib? Took it to the crib. I've never seen this. Not even in Madden. Is there a glitch in this game? What's going on? That's a spectacular play by that punter there.
Has this ever happened in the history of football?
I don't think so.
You get your punt blocked, you take it, and then you do a Devin Hester.
I think the offensive coordinator needs to look at this guy and say, how do we get him in our game plan? He needs to be doing jet sweeps, reverses, put him at quarterback. Just let him do his thing because he's balling.
Punters are people too, and they can also take you to the house.
Yes, they can.
Hey, it was always fun.
Likewise.
It's always fun. That's going to do it for MaxPreps SoCal. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time. For Jahleel, I'm Chris.